Would you look what we have here? A couple of goons, a couple of goblins, even. There's no alcohol in this bottle. This makes us sad. Sad trio hours. Chat, it's sad trio hours. Anyway, welcome to the beginner's guide. This game is not sad at all. Promise, swearsies. Not at fucking all. It's a bit of an older game. A lot of people probably know this game. But if you don't, oh boy, our eyes light up. Oh, really? You don't? Anyway, but yes, chat. Yes. Oh shit! Hold on, we need to get our phone because we need to text our buddy to get something when he goes shopping. Fuck. Mayonnaise on an escalator. No, he's going up now, so see you later. It probably has something to do with this game, possibly. As far as you fucking know. As far as you know, this game's about a sentient thing of fucking mayonnaise. Alright. Anyway. Alright, chat. It's time. It is time. Fantastic! He's getting French onion dip. Make sure audio is on. God, yes. If there's no audio in this game, well, you're fucked. So let's turn up the audio a tad, actually. Because they are
Hi
right.
there. Thank you very much for playing The Beginner's Guide. My name is Davey Reedon. I wrote The Stanley Parable, and while that game tells a pretty absurd story, today I'm going to tell you about a series of events that happened between 2008 and 2011. We're going to look at the games made by a friend of mine named Coda. Now, these games mean a lot to me. I met Coda in early 2009 at a time when I was really struggling with some personal stuff, and his work pointed me in a very powerful direction. I found it to be a good reference point for the kinds of creative works that I wanted to make. So just to start you off, this is, I think, the first game he ever made. It's a level for Counter-Strike. You can walk around here, by the way.
Oh, fantastic.
And mostly it's...
First of all, are there subtitles? Yeah, okay, yeah. Thank you.
It's just Coda learning the basics of building a 3D...
Okay, accidentally went too far back. Oops! Let's try it again. No, actually, this is a good test to see how what the captions do.
Hi there. Thank you very much for
That's
playing
at
The
top?
Beginner's Guide.
Yeah, well, whatever.
My name is Davey Reedon. I wrote The Stanley Parable, and while that game tells a pretty absurd story, today I'm going to tell you about a series of events that happened between 2008 and 2011. We're going to look at the games made by a friend of mine named Coda. Now, these games mean a lot to me. I met Coda in early 2009 at a time when I was really struggling with some personal stuff, and his work pointed me in a very powerful direction. I found it to be a good reference point for the kinds of creative works that I wanted to make. So just to start you off, this is, I think, the first game he ever made.
Okay.
It's a level for Counter-Strike. You can walk around here, by the way. And
Just to make sure, is there a way to make the closed captions at the bottom? No. Alright, that's fine.
Mostly it's just Coda learning the basics of building a 3D environment. But what I like is that even though he starts from the simple aesthetic of a desert town, he then scatters these colorful abstract blobs and impossible floating crates around the level. And of course, it destroys the illusion that this actually is a desert town, and instead this level becomes a kind of calling card from its creator. It's like a reminder that this video game was constructed by a real person. And it kind of makes you wonder, what was going through his head as he was building this? This is what I like about all of Coda's games. I mean, not that they're all fascinating as games, but that they are all going to give us access to their creator. I want us to see past the games themselves. I want to get to know who this human being really is. And that's exactly what we're going to do here. So, it's 2008, Coda starts making these games, and he never releases any of them. He doesn't put them onto the internet, he just makes them and then immediately abandons them, and they sit on his computer forever. And I think he really understood this image of himself as a recluse. At one point, he jokingly renamed his computer's recycling bin to Important Games Folder. So, you know, this was just how he worked. He tended to crank them out one after the other without even really pausing to try to understand what he had just made, until suddenly one day, he just stopped. In 2011, that was it. He made his last game, and then he hasn't made another one since. And that's why I've taken this opportunity to gather all of his work together, is because I find his games powerful and interesting, and I'd like this collection to reach him, to maybe encourage him to start creating again. And if the people like you who play this also happen to find his work interesting, then I'm sure it'll just send that much stronger of a message of encouragement to Coda. So thanks for joining me on this. If you have a particular interpretation that I haven't mentioned here, or if you just need to get in touch, you can email me at daveyWreden@gmail.com. Okay, that's about it for introduction. Let's take a look at Coda's first proper game. As each game is loading, I'll show you the date that it was completed. This first one was made in November 2008.
All right. It begins. Oh, what the fuck is happening?
This game is called Escape from Whisper, and it's one of the more generic games you'll see from Coda.
Security call breached. Hostile alien life forms inbound.
It kinda looks like this game was abandoned mid-development. For instance, you have this gun, which you'd think would indicate that there are supposed to be monsters or enemies somewhere, but then clearly there are no enemies anywhere. You can't even reload the gun when you run out of bullets. But ultimately we don't really know. Maybe Coda thought that actually it was complete the way that it is. And I think that we should talk about his games for what they are, rather than for what they're not.
Enemy force neutralized. Begin shift evacuation.
I love how you can see the bottom of the universe from this room.
Nice.
Apparently the space station has a labyrinth on it. Sure, I don't know. There's really no reason for it that I've ever been able to discern, so in the interest of time, I'm just gonna skip you on past it.
Oh. Alright.
Okay, this is the part that's interesting. The game has this narrative about the Whisper machine and how it has to be turned off, and then you get to the engine room.
Would you do it? Could you give yourself?
Let me pause here for a second. What you just experienced, stepping into the beam and then dying, is probably what Coda had initially intended when he was developing this level. But when he first compiles and plays it, something goes wrong. There's a bug somewhere. And this is what happens instead.
Well, alright then.
The beam causes you to start floating. And this is an important moment for him. Because yes, this is technically a glitch, but Coda identifies
Okay.
something human about it.
Alright, so Tress, we've just started, but to recap what this game is, the guy who made Stanley Parable, he's the one who made it. Well, he made the beginner's guide, but these are all supposed to be a collection of his friend's game who started in 2008 and then stopped in 2011. He just vanished off the face of the earth. So he's getting a bunch of his friends' old games and showing them in chronological order to, like, explain, try to understand more about his friend.
How small it makes you feel in the face of this larger,
So this is technically
chaotic
the first game he
system.
ever did.
Or this
There was
floating
another
could
one,
be
there was
the
a
afterlife,
Counter-Strike map,
a peaceful place,
but we just did the
juxtaposed
first
against
technical
all of
game.
the hysteria that you've just had to traverse. I don't even know. I have no idea what he was thinking, but what's clear is that after making this, something lodges itself in his brain. He wants to do more of these really weird and experimental designs. So he stops work on this and moves on to a stream of tiny little games that go in all sorts of directions. Let's go ahead and take a look at the first game he made after leaving this one behind.
Also, as he said, his friend Coda, he never released these games. He made them, and then he just dropped them. He made them. Once he was finished, he just left it on his computer. Oh,
Yep.
fucking,
In
oh.
this game, you can only walk backwards.
Oh, that's well, shit.
So it's a short and relatively minimalist experiment combining motion and narrative. It is less advanced than the previous game, but actually it seems to be more focused, more complete. Coda's trying to give it a unique voice rather than simply basing it on a pre-existing trope. It's a short little thought, it says what it wants to say, and then it ends. Didn't need anything more than that. Which to me is why it works, because it gets out quick. Okay, next one.
Shit, this one feels real spooky. We don't know about this one.
And that's it. Okay, the meaning of this game won't be clear just yet. Please be patient with me for a few more games, and I promise you'll see what makes it interesting.
Oh god, it's like we're going down
Oftentimes,
fucking
Coda
Tress's
would put
brain.
bizarre titles like this one at the start of his games.
Oh, what was this one called? Oh fuck, we didn't see it. What was it called? Ah well.
I wish I'd known him at the time that he was making these early games. He would really only talk to me about his work as he was making it. Once he stopped work on a game, like, that was it. It was dead to him. And I don't agree with that at all, but what are you gonna do?
There seems to be an issue with these stairs. Are we on a fucking escalator?
Once you've been slowed to an absolute crawl, the door at the top of the stairs opens. So why, if Coda's not showing these games to anyone, why bother opening the door at all? Well, to show you, I'm modifying the game here so that when you press enter, it'll bring you back up to full speed so you can enter the door for yourself.
What do you think we're fucking pussy? The goddamn dev intended it this way. Yeah, alright, we got shit to do tonight. Let's do this. Yeah, alright, never mind. We got shit to do. Start a small room as you can. You are a gate. Holy shit, that's a good one. You dusting your jewelry while your kingdom is
room
destroyed.
that's
That
warm,
one sounds fucking cool, actually.
Nice and filled with little ideas for games.
A button you press to stop the chaos that doesn't work. You place a camera, filming now, it's fine to walk around a set, whatever you like. Oh, that's
Coda would
cool.
often tell me that he didn't mind if people thought of him as cold or distant. He said that he knew that he was actually a vibrant and compassionate person, but that it takes time to really see that. It can be
Until you
very
realize you can just
slow
walk through the
climb out there.
walls. You run a shop, sell your organs strategically to make the most money before you die. We swear that actually is a fucking game. We promise you that's an actual game. Well, there's a game similar to that anyway, which we own. There is actually a game about like planting and selling organs. So Tress, thoughts so far on whatever the fuck this is?
Well, this is new for Coda. It's an actual puzzle. Go ahead and see if you can solve it. Don't forget that solution, because we're going to see this puzzle again soon.
Oh, he's
We're
gonna
gonna
use
see
it
it a
about
lot.
20. Yeah. Yeah, he's gonna get fucking mileage out of that one. It already rings depressing. Good! What? Huh? Depressing? This game doesn't get sad. Fuck you. Maybe you should read the title there, nerd.
So that seems to be it, right? You walk down a corridor, you solve the puzzle, you get to the end. Simple enough. Alright, now I'm going to modify the game again, so that when you press enter, it'll remove all of the walls from this room.
Uh-huh. Alrighty. Oh, what in the fuck?
How about that? There was more to it than we had any way of knowing. I actually find it funny that this game comes after the Stairs game, since they essentially convey the opposite idea. So, in the Stairs game, a dull exterior concealed a rich interior. And then, in this level, a dull interior hides this fantastic outer world. Either way, I think that the point is the same, is that most of the time you don't get to know what you're missing, or even that you're missing anything. That's not your role as a player. So if your role here is not to understand, then what is it? Aha! So, this, combined with the entering game from earlier, tells us that Coda believes his games are connected somehow. It could even be that the Stairs game and the puzzle game are literally connected in between this and the entering game. There's a bigger picture that all of his games are meant to play a role in, some larger meaning that we won't be able to grasp until we've seen all of them. And once we have, we can step back and start to understand what exactly that bigger picture is.
Oh, it's like Discord. It's like if we put fucking Discord in light mode. Help,
Let's
help,
talk
God.
about video game development for a second. Every video game runs on what's called an engine, which determines what the game can and cannot do. So in other words, the engine is a set of tools for game development.
The streetwise.
To make all of these games, Coda is using an engine called Source. Like all engines, Source has certain things that it does well, and it has certain things that it does poorly. One of the things that it does very well is boxy linear corridors. That's why so many of Coda's games are set in these large, flat, empty rooms, is just because he's working with what the engine does well. The tools available to the creator shape what kinds of creative work they're going to end up making. You might consider paying attention to the architecture in Coda's games to notice how they seem to stem from an engine that's very good at producing linear, boxy corridors.
Oh shit. Oh, it's making us do fucking platforming. Help. Hup. Guess we're not going back. That's fine.
This prison, funny enough, in Coda's original design, the doors stayed shut for a full hour before letting us
We
in.
got time.
If you don't mind, I think we're gonna skip that.
Damn it. But it's what the developer intended. Yeah, fair enough. Let's get out of here.
This is something that he and I used to argue about a lot. You know, whether a game ought to actually be playable, whether it means anything if no one can get through it. And I would always defend that, you know, all this work goes into the game, why not make it playable and accessible? And so we just got into heated arguments over it, and there was one time that after one of these conversations, he went home, and a day or two later, he sent me a zip file entitled Playable Games that was full of hundreds of individual games, each of which was just an empty box that you walked around in and nothing else. Believe me, I played every single one of those just to find out if there was like a gag hidden somewhere. There wasn't.
Fucking pranked. Filthy prank.
It's the puzzle again, with the exact same solution as the last time. There's still no clear indication of what makes this puzzle so special that Coda is going to return to it over and over. But I promise I'll share with you my interpretation very shortly.
You there? Did you come from above?
Here, Coda
What's up
begins
there?
using a kind of dialogue system that he fashioned out of the engine's chat capabilities. Use the 1, 2, 3 buttons on your keyboard to respond.
This world stamped with whiteness. That's the world above. You've been there. Now this is important. Did you have to get through a puzzle with 2 doors and a switch? Yes, I did. That was literally the last thing I did, actually. Ah. Again, perfect. Now, please tell us how you solved it. Tell us the solution. Tell us how to get to the other side. I don't remember how I solved it. I'm trying to remember, but I can't. You must think harder. Please, try to remember. Can you think harder? There must be something more. Please tell us how to reach the end. We're gonna go. You have fun with that. Goodbye. Oh, what the fuck? Was there? How'd you get here? Was there a puzzle you had to pass through? Yes. Do you want to know how to solve it? No. We actually find the black space between the doors far more interesting. Have you seen it yet? I'm feeling strange when I pass through it. Yeah. Don't think too hard about it. We don't think at all. You'll see it again soon. Alrighty then. Goodbye. Now, chat, we don't remember smoking weed.
And so we make
but,
one last descent down to the final floor of the level.
I don't know, something about this game makes us think we smoked joint and we just didn't realize it. Okay, cool.
It's a lamppost. Okay, I can't tell you quite why, but for some reason, Coda fixates on this lamppost. It's going to appear at the end of every single one of his games from here on out. I'll tell you what I think. I think that up to this point, he's been making really strange and abstract games with no clear purpose, and maybe you can only float around in that headspace for so long. Because now he wants something to hold on to. He wants a reference point. He wants the work to be leading to something. He wants a destination, which is what this lamppost is. It's a destination. We're going to see it in the work as well. His games are just going to become a lot more cohesive, a lot more fully developed, with more of a clear idea behind them. And as we go, that idea will get clearer and clearer and clearer.
This game is connected to the internet. Well, as you walk around, you can leave notes. All notes you see are left by other players. Oh, okay. Nice room. Not. God damn. Wow. Yeah, that's. Yep, nope. This game definitely is connected to the internet. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yep.
So first off, I'm sure you can deduce this, but this game is not connected to the internet.
How
All
do
of the
you
notes
beat
that
this
you're going to
game?
see have been written by Coda. This was actually the first game of his that I ever played. This was shortly after I met him at a weekend game jam in Sacramento, where I grew up. I saw him working on this very level, and it was just so different from anything that anyone else was doing. So right away I was like, I have to be friends with this person. In retrospect, I think I was probably a bit too pushy trying to get his attention.
Reasonable.
I was over-enthusiastic. But he was very gracious about it and very patient with me. And I cooled off eventually.
What?
Oh, feel free to skip over any of these notes if they're not doing anything for you. Nothing extra is going to happen if you read all of them. Either way, to me they convey a sense of loneliness. I see this person who's filled with thoughts and feelings and beliefs and has no way to express them except as scattered and unheard voices in a game that wasn't meant to be played. But it's ironic, isn't it, that in playing this game and seeing how alone Coda often felt, that we get to know him better and actually kind of connect with him. And I have to be honest with you, this idea is really seductive to me. That I could just play someone's game and see the voices in their head and get to know them better and have to do less of the messy in-person socializing. I could just get to know you through your work. I think this is why I always liked Coda's games so much, is because it felt like they let me have that connection. I felt as though he was inviting me personally into his world. And then I feel less lonely too.
Hell yeah, dog. Define fun. That's a good question. F is for friends who do stuff together. U is for you and me. N is for anywhere and any time at all. Down here in the deep blue sea. There you go. We defined fun for him. There you go. Mission accomplished. The fuck is this guy? What? Alright. The sailors. Fishmill's been here. Now this guy's speaking from the heart. listen to you got it, Chief. Door's impenetrable. Yep, backing up. Thank God. Well, you know what? At least he was honest about it. God, same, bruh. He's saying what we're... Okay. God damn it. He's right. This is where I get off. Will only result in misery, well, by God. Well, we were lied to. What? Well, hey, at least that guy's having fun. Okay. Don't listen to like any of them. You got it. Art. They're right. Fucking art critic. From up here, it just looks like dots. Shit always look like dots. Well, Cabbage Boy's back. Thank God. All of them? Even the fucking cabbage guy? What? Boy seeing ghosts. He's saying what we're all thinking. Well, moving on. Wait a fucking minute. There were so many Library of Ruina jokes we wanted to make and were not legally allowed. That's the worst part of it all. That sounds like a familiar reference.
At the end of this level, we're going to see the puzzle again. And here, I'll tell you what I think the puzzle means. Each of these games represents an idea that was on Coda's mind at the time that he was making it. And the puzzle is a way of closing the door on a previous chapter of his life before moving on to the next one.
Wish there was notes in the real world. My brother in Christ.
In each of his games, after exploring a theme that, he might find difficult, Coda can then place this puzzle that he knows has a reliable solution, he understands exactly how it works, and so it gives him a simple mechanism for moving on. And because there's this dark area between the doors, a space between spaces, before you move on, you get to pause. Just for a moment, a few seconds to reflect on and let go of the events that led you here. To step back and connect the pieces together. To grasp at that.
Say what you will, that might be the most realistic fucking experience of goddamn internet there is. The simplest solution, everyone. It's impossible. Help! Yeah, that sounds about right. Now, we believe there would be about 20 toilet brains for trying to figure that shit out for an hour. Yeah, that sounds about right. Are you there? Please say something. Can be anything. I just need you to say something. Talk to me, please. Hey, so much difficulty talking. Speak. Alright. Porn stars die too.
This one is tough. It's gonna kind of just spin its own wheels for a few minutes. Hang with it.
Now hold on, this one's going places. That's a title. That's a powerful title. Well, let's get to it. Same painting. Very good. Guys, whoever owns this house, they got one picture they liked, and by God, they're gonna buy it 15 times. Spruces up the fucking... Wait a minute.
See, this is it. The whole game. And there's nothing that's particularly interesting about it. You just walk to the end of a hallway. Except, for some reason, Coda gets really fixated on this prison that has all of this modern furniture. And I don't know why, but he decides he needs to revisit this prison. He's gonna start over, use the same assets, turn it into something else. Okay, cool. Here's version 2.
Well, shit. What furniture ought to go in the center of the room? Chat, we got some options. What are we feeling? Let's spruce up this room. What are we feeling? What should go right dead center here? A TV with surround sound? A refrigerator, even. Or just a giant ass fucking hole. Just a big asshole. One, you got it. Well, guess what? Fuck you. Wrong. And correct answer was a table. Maybe you'll get the next one right. Maybe. What about along the wall of the room? Huge picture of a horse, really like a washing machine. 10 stoves lined up against the 3. 10 stoves, please. Well, shit. I think we should lighten this room up a bit. Okay. A skylight, full window. Let's open this baby up. I'm thinking 10 times 12 receding electrical 6-inch soft LED ceiling lights with fluorescent trims. Testicles. Testicles. Live testicles, of course. The skylight. That one. That is not a skylight. A table. You need a table. Wait a minute. Alright, now this one's got options. Who are you? Where exactly are you doing this from? I'm pretty sure none of my choices are making any difference. Tables were invented in 1935. Oh, fuck.
There's a bit more to this one, but still, it's not really communicating anything. It's kind of just weird for weirdness' sake.
Oh dear. We're in the back.
Okay, he throws it out and starts over. This time he comes at the prison idea from a different direction.
Oh, we were in the fucking back rooms the whole time and nobody told us, huh? Oh, there. Please, you got it. This guide will enable you to escape from any prison environment. Ah, fantastic. Listen to each step. First, click on this table. Okay. Now, chat, you're paying attention, right? This will be on the test. Understand? So, in order to escape, you gotta click on a table. Easy. Good. Now go to the photo frame and click it to turn it slightly. Alright? You paying attention. Now turn the floor lamp in this room off, then turn it back on. You got it. Now go to the left side sofa, move it over a little bit. Okay. Finally touch the shelves. Oh, the shelves, of course. That's it. In a real prison, the escape will now open. Turn the start and be taken back to your prison. All right. Trish, you remember the steps, right? You got it? You wrote it? You mentally noted, right? Table, picture, lamp, sofa, shelves. Okay? Easy as pie. We're going to be in and out. Not even going to take a minute. Let's get in there. Easy as pie. This is well, shit.
And of course, now the table is gone and you can't begin the chain of events to escape. Here's a version where there are no bars, but you can't actually get to the well. And then a version where the inside of the prison is the outside and the outside is the inside. Let me just blink you real quick through a few more of these. I mean, he really unloaded on this prison idea. There's nearly a dozen.
What the fuck?
Personally, I think it's awful to watch this. To see a person basically unraveling through their work. And for what? Like, at what point do you just go, maybe there are game ideas other than this prison that I could be working on? But Coda doesn't have that voice telling you to stop. That particular
what the fuck is all this then?
Against yourself. Without it, you just spiral. And so he keeps going and going and going and going and going, and then he hits on something. And he likes it. And that's it. He's done. He stops making prisons. This is the very last version of the prison game that he created. And the reason I think it works is that the prison is not actually in it.
Oh, this is real fucking spooky. Hello? Who is this? Hey, it's me. I'm you after you escaped the prison. You're me? So you were trapped in this prison too?
It's a conversation. And so this
yeah,
is what Coda wants.
I was in
to be
the
able to
furniture
talk to
maze.
someone, to share what's on his mind and to get some good advice from
That's where I
someone
am
who
right
knows.
now.
But the
I'm so
irony is
glad
that
to know
even
I
in
get
this
that I get out
scenario,
eventually.
you're still
What's it
talking
like to
yourself.
escape?
You know, all of these games so far are Coda talking to himself.
He's completely still and wildly in motion at the same time. Do you feel any different? Sometimes I'm scared I'll get out and then things will be exactly the same as before. It actually does change. I don't feel like the same person at all. Oh, good. It's so nice to hear. It makes me feel really happy. Age just kind of does that, you know? Wait, if you're me, then how'd you call... then did you get a call from another version when you were trapped? No, I think I'm the first person to call back. Then, can you tell me how to get out? Maybe I can come find you. What do I have to do? To get out, just talk with me for a bit. What? That'll free me. How does that work? Listen, you can't know until you're out, but I promise it works. Okay, I can talk. Let's just talk for a bit. Will you be here? I will, as long as you need.
I can see why he considers this a fitting conclusion to the prison games. After all of the obsession and frustration, just to be told by someone you can trust that things are going to be okay. Wouldn't that be nice? So what would it look like if Coda wanted to make a game about talking to someone other than himself? To me, this environment is meant to represent Coda's puzzle, with the two doors on either side and a dark transitional space between.
Oh, this is a lovely house. Quite the pippin' house you got, my man. Well, my goodness! I'm glad as all heck that you showed up. Thought I might have to clean this entire house by myself. And right miserable that would have been. Everyone knows how lonesome hands make lousy homes.
You'll notice that the
And
quality
lousy
of
homes
the art
make
is a
home
step up from
loners.
previous games, including this new and improved chat system, which he started using.
Something
from
tells me
this
you're going
point
to
on.
be fun to do this job with.
From here on out, he
This place
begins
is going to
putting
clean
much
itself as
more
far as I
effort
know.
into the
I'll
visual
finish up here.
polish
In
of
the
his
meantime,
work.
could you please clear the table?
And this particular game took 2 months to create as a result.
Much nicer. That's the table I want to see. Would you please run into the bedroom and make the bed? Of course, friend. Of course, friend, of course. While you're there, why don't you straighten out the rug a bit? All the little details matter. How'd you end up doing this job? My friend dragged me along at a time when I was particularly desperate for cash. Turns out I felt so good doing something for money in my whole life. Never did like clean my own home. I have some demons I ain't ready to face yet. Oh, speaking of demons, someone's put this couch in a mess. Should you come out and straighten all these pillows here? Why, of course, of course. But, by God, why wouldn't we? Oh dear, looks like someone spilled drink all over the couch. You mop that up as long as you're there. Oh, over by the couch. We thought he said on the couch. Like, bruh. You want us to mop that, huh? I fucking compelled to share a crazy, cheesy personal insight. You okay with that? Oh, bruh, make it especially cheesy. Nah, do go on. Oh. No, it was stupid, sorry. Never mind. It just needs to be washed. Well, why don't you come do that? Oh man, we want some cheesy insight, damn. That's a check the tub needed cleaning. By God, man, what if we don't need to be perfect, we're all just human. Okay? What do you do, exactly? I mean, not to be mean, but like, fuck it, whatever. Are the books still scattered all over the floor in the bedroom? If so, could you put them back on the shelf? By God, it's horrible. It still looks horrible. Perfect. You come and clear these dishes off the table? Wait a fucking minute.
After the intense set of prison games, this house cleaning level almost
Wait a
feels like
fucking moment.
cleansing. It's the moment after a particularly difficult or traumatic experience where you just need to let it sit and digest inside of you, and eventually
Are all
cohere
houses
into
this easy to
something
clean?
meaningful.
Darling, let me tell you something. In your lifetime, you're gonna clean a lot of houses. And among all of those, a few of them will stick out as truly wonderful, beautiful experiences. And none of them will be the ones that are easy. Just think about something while you smooth all the rug in the
I know
bedroom.
that
Who
Cody
the
really
fuck?
liked this game. Of all of his work, actually, this was the only one that he called me up to ask me to come over and look at it. This was during a period of a few months where he was like grossly happy all the time. Just walks around with a constant smile on his face.
Oh, I said I had a really cheesy thought. I was gonna say that it occurs to me that one's house is a lot like one's soul. You take care of it, and it takes care of you. I don't know why I felt so weird about saying that. There's a bit of truth in it, no? Anyway. So. Housekeeping. Yes. Let's keep doing this. Of course. But who the fuck? Goddamn poltergeists!
I'm glad he made this. I'm glad he found some peace.
Wait, who the fuck? Who owns this house, and how do they keep ruining it? Question. Do go for it.
But, of
You enjoy
course,
this?
it can't last. The music stops, your companion is gone, it's time to leave. The door at the top of the hill is now open as well. Again, you can't stay in the dark space for too long. You just can't. You have to keep moving. It's how you stay alive.
Oh. Well, now we just feel empty inside. Let's get out of here. Well, now we just feel sad. I was gonna tell that guy we were enjoying that. What the fuck? Wait a fucking minute! He didn't clean a single damn thing! Wait a minute! Hold on a moment. We were being paid for this, right?
Which is the whole point of the puzzle doors, right? That
Chat, we
sooner or
think
later you
we think he
have to pick
scammed
up
us.
and move.
We think he took our paycheck
I
and
really
ran.
thought that was the point of it. This one gets a
What?
bit goofy.
Why did you come here today? Was it to improve your life? No, not particularly, sir. We're in college. Was it to get a better job? No, sir. We're in college. Was it to make your relationships more meaningful? No. We don't, sir. You came here to become perfect. This workshop is going to teach you how to be perfect. I want your friends and the people in life to look at you and think, wow, this person is a better human being than I am. Will people think... Man, this guy's asking a lot. Also, we have to go help with groceries. We'll be right back. Study for the exam, chat. You better answer how to be a perfect human being when we get back, you understand? And it better be perfect. All right, Chad. Did you figure out how to be the perfect human being yet? Did you crack the code? You know, we really thought we'd come back and we'd just see Trish say, the way to be the perfect human is to be a furry. Which is the correct option. Reject humanity. That's the actual. By God, they got it. Delicious. Alright, back to it. Right now, who do you think about that way in your own life? Who do you think is so well developed as a person that they make you feel disgust with yourself? Compared to whom you feel useless. Selfish. Ungrateful. And then you make you into that person. Wait, the one that feels bad or... Perfection is within your grasp. And the question is not how we do it, but how to do it effortlessly. It is easy. It is so easy. It is so easy.
About halfway through the game,
Being perfect is
perspective
effortless.
shifts.
Uh-huh. This man is dedicated.
And you play as the teacher.
Uh,
Suddenly, you discover that your teacher is just
This is
as
the key.
bigoted and afraid as you are. Oh, and also you can move around the classroom now.
Oh, cool. How do we do... The key is, how do I achieve it with no effort? Being alone must be awful. What, huh? Drinking is not hurting our life. Seek out the one thing that's the easiest, simplest path forward. Alcoholism. Anyone want to do some ecstasy after this? Holy shit, you guys. Something coming out of the back of the room, look out! It's coming for you. It's gonna destroy you.
I fell pretty hard for this one.
Perfection.
I feel like it's one of the most relatable experiences that you can have. To assume that some other person
Perfection.
is perfect and totally fulfilled in every way, and completely miss all of the little flaws that make them painfully human. I think about this game a lot these days.
The fact that the student didn't notice, though, that's the real elbows of all that.
This one took a lot longer than all the others for Coda to make. It was 4 months between this and the last one.
Oh.
That's twice as long as it took him to make any other game before this, and it's not like it's particularly complex, so I remember I found that a little strange at the time.
Oh, shit. Alright, the performance is beginning. Places, please. What? Performance, huh? This scene you will be playing as me. Oh, okay. We're at a gathering of professionals. Okay. First, I shall start leaning against this wall. Oh. Good, stay right there. One across the room is in a chair. It's a very professional photographer of animals. I dream to photograph animals professionally. It is? Show one chance to learn something from her, to gain something, to succeed. On, say something to her. Okay. Hey. Hello? Hello? That's it? Uh-huh. That's not a conversation. It's a conversation started, my man. You need to actually converse with her. Be a human being. Do it again. Here are all my hopes and dreams? No, that's not what I said to her at all. But you're completely missing the tone of the conversation. You did not give us a script. I knew what I wanted. I was confident. For some reason, it was just that one moment. But I was confident. Maybe you need a better feeling of the setting. There were a lot of people around us. I'll give you some props to work with. It's cones that bounce when you touch them will represent the people nearby. What? Oh, okay. Now talk to her again. You must have worked really hard to get where you are. You're messing it all up again. What in the fuck do you mean? Give us a script then. Figure out if comments get too personal too quickly. You know, I realize how important this was for me. I'll never get another opportunity like this. Everything was riding on this. I want to try something. Okay. Try stepping back from the stage. Oh. Okay. Is this good? Boss? Is this... How fu... We gotta go. Further! Oh yes, now this is working. This is what it was
The
like.
game ends
What?
with this eerie premonition of what's going to happen next in Coda's life. The solution to social anxiety,
Perfect,
to
wonderful.
fears
This is really
of having
wonderful.
to perform and having to chase success, the answer for Coda is to withdraw, to hide himself away. Which is what leads to scenarios like the stairs that slowed you down several games ago,
You're doing
where
great.
it just
Okay.
becomes harder and harder to
Boss.
access Coda's inner landscape because he keeps retreating. He just keeps backing away from possible connections to anyone other than himself. And to be honest, I didn't consider it very healthy when I first played this game. You know, it looked to me like he was trying to justify the idea of just disconnecting yourself from the world. And that wasn't what I wanted for him or for his games. Because I feel like a lot of his games are inviting me to connect with this person, to bring him closer. But what can you do? After this, Coda went off and took another 5 months to make a new game.
To play this game, probably must keep your eyes closed. Click to begin the game. So we won't be doing that. What's going on? Yeah, what can we do? Help, I'm blind. I don't want to die like this. I don't want to die like this. SS Whisper. Wait a minute. Please, somebody talk to me. Okay, Safari, if I can activate the shields. Crash, aren't we? Quiet and help me find the shields. What's going on?
You should probably open your eyes if you haven't already. It's pretty much impossible to solve otherwise. And there is a solution, by the way.
I'm gonna stop to speak something that is honest. I'm bursting with creative energy. Oh, that isn't truthful. Well, shit. I can't keep making these? Yes, that's the truth.
Like I said, I was getting
I
concerned.
don't feel it.
First off, he's never been this explicit in his work about
Go on, keep
exactly what
talking.
he's thinking. So, where's that coming from? But then, even weirder, his work has potentially stopped being an outlet for him. Not like he's having
Can't
trouble
figure out how to
iterating
say
on
the thing.
ideas, but he literally just can't think of new ideas anymore.
We're doing it. It's
And
working.
in person, he was being a lot more distant than usual. Like, you know how sometimes a person will just deflect
Stuck in
anything that you say in order to keep themselves disconnected all the time? It was that
Going
kind
to be
of thing.
okay.
Here was the point in my relationship with Coda where I really started to wonder if he needed my help in some way. His games are going to get more desperate from here on out. After this game, it's almost 6 months before he finishes something new.
Hello? Oh, what the fuck? Oh, nice. Where does this island come from? Is that a person? How lovely. Been a long time since I've talked to anyone. Huh? What's wrong? You look lost. What is happening? When I try to create, I feel empty. Oh no. Oh yes. What happened? Did something change? I'm trying to find this engine that used to protect me. It has started again. Right, you're looking for a machine? Yes, indeed. I think I know what it is. It isn't far. I need to see it to know why it stopped. I can take you, but there's
If
a problem.
The last game featured Coda talking explicitly about his creative frustrations.
If you help me
This
solve the
one
puzzle,
turns it
we'll
up to
find the
11.
machine. Deal?
Now, put yourself in my shoes playing this.
Deal.
Here's a friend whose work is exhibiting signs of struggle, frustration, anxiety, depression, even. And yet, still, he keeps making games. He keeps
Come along, I'll show you.
throwing himself into the grinder even when he clearly doesn't have the energy for it anymore. Why? What is it for?
Here's the puzzle.
Because
What do you
from
think?
my perspective at the time and just what I knew of him,
I recognize
this
this.
was a result of how isolated he was.
Oh,
He
wonderful.
was in his own little bubble, just sitting
Tell
at his
me how to do
computer
it.
all day, not really showing these games to anyone, not releasing them onto the internet, and so
First you have
he
to open
didn't
the door.
have anyone outside of himself
Okay, now.
to connect with. He had no outlet to ground himself on.
Now you have to close the first door. Alright, what's next? You just press the switch here. Huh, that was so simple, indeed.
You can't
Can't
talk
believe I never
yourself
solved it before.
out of loneliness. It doesn't work that way. You can't be the one writing both the questions and the answers. Then there's no movement. Then there's no circulation. If all of your anxieties are being channeled
no
into your
machine
work,
here.
then if the work ever fails, you have no backup
Trust
and
me,
you're
you'll
just
see.
going to crash.
You say that your work is fun and easy. They give you know it's simple and joyous and that you love it 100% of the time. Sure, making games is easy. That feels wonderful. But it wasn't true. Don't worry about it. Just keep talking. Keep saying that creation is easy. I'm constantly excited and enthusiastic about my work. Yes, it's wonderful. Keep going.
Seeing this game at the time that he made it, it looked
Such a-
really unhealthy to me.
Just never stop creating and you'll never
I was
feel
watching
bad.
him do this to himself, and I hated it. I hated seeing him so trapped. It's like video games are not worth this amount of suffering.
It's fantastic. I'm
This
gonna
is someone I
vomit.
really cared about, and I used to get so much joy out of seeing him create. For him to suddenly become angry and frustrated like this, it was the worst thing for me.
There's, pain breezes effortlessly off me.
I don't know. This is what I felt at the time. I don't know how else to explain it.
I'll be saved by my
I
work.
wanted it to stop more than anything. I had never felt so rotten. I needed more than I had ever needed anything for this to stop. But it didn't stop. After finishing this one, Coda takes another 7 months and comes up with a new game.
By God, man. Taking your time, ain't you? Howdy. Ma'am, glad to see you've arrived safe. We've captured the machine. It's waiting for you now. You can begin the interrogation whenever you want. I intend to be quick. Very good. Just be warned that someone called the press might be paying attention to this one. Also, one more thing you should know about the machine. It calls itself Coda. Okay. Did you capture you out of the way? Move it.
And of course, it's the machine.
You stopped. Your work was keeping us alive. People people out there, can you imagine the pain you've put them through? You have to admit to the people that you allowed them to suffer. Here's what needs to happen. You go out and apologize to them. I've seen the thing you fear. Alright then. I will speak to them for you. My friends, I have a troubling revelation. The machine refuses to admit that it deliberately hurt us. It's not important. We are stronger than it thinks we are. Show we are not failures. Follow me. We'll destroy the machine. Oh, baby. I'll make sure you're known forever. Is that what you're scared of? Expose the views of others every day? Forever? Seen in naked clarity?
So now the work is becoming self-destructive. And I'll tell you, at the time that I first played this game, shortly after he made it, here's what I'm thinking to myself. I'm thinking that Code is stuck in his own head, and that it's having a very negative effect on him, and that all he needs to do is just start showing his work to people, to get some actual feedback on his games. It might get him out of isolation. And so, as I'm thinking this, I realize that I could be the one to initiate it. Because it would never occur to Coda to start actively soliciting feedback, so what if I did it for him? If he could see the difference it would make to have more actual conversations with other human beings, would that bring him out of his mental spiral? Would it give him confidence in himself? Would it bring meaning back into his work?
This gun has a very big clip.
So I started showing Coda's work to people. I took this one, and the islands which you just played, the theater, the notes, the house cleaning game, and some of the prison escape games. I brought them to people that I knew and trusted. I asked their opinions. And the great part is that they really loved his games. You know, the point of it all was just to give him some external reference point, but they genuinely loved his work. There was nothing for him to be afraid of.
Put down your weapon.
Can you see why I felt like this was the right thing to do? Because it's the thing that I always feel like I need, to be told that my work is good, that I am good. When someone really connects with a thing that I've made, when they see themselves purely in my work, there's nothing that feels better. And I got to give that very same feeling to my friend. I did something... I really felt like I'd done something good, like I was a good person. I felt like there was a friend who was in trouble and was unhappy and maybe didn't like themselves, and I could fix it. If I could give him this gift, maybe I could fix the problem. When they told me how much they enjoyed his games, it was the best feeling. It was the absolute best feeling. It made me feel so happy. So beautifully, beautifully happy. So anyway, Coda finishes this game, and then really he just kind of takes off for a while. So this is June of 2011. and I didn't hear anything from him for several weeks, I guess. And so out of nowhere, one day I get an email, and it's got a private link to a new game of Coda's. This one is called The Tower, and to my knowledge, it's the last game that Coda ever made. So let's take a look. And this is where I have trouble saying anything meaningful about Coda's work. Because more than anything else, The Tower just feels distant. It feels like it's trying to distance itself from the world. It's a very cold game.
Was that a fucking nuclear? Oh boy.
This room actually has a maze in it. Except that
Ow.
all the walls of the maze are invisible. And then every time you touch one of the walls, there's this awful flashing and noise, so the experience is really miserable. The game goes beyond not being meant to be played, it actually seems to despise the player for trying to play it at all. But I do want to show you the rest of the levels, so when you're ready to continue, press enter and I'll put a bridge over the maze.
Roger Dodger.
And to be fair, it's not like this is the first game that's needed some modification to be playable. Like the house cleaning game. You know, that one used to actually loop the cleaning chores and you just cleaned a house forever. I had to cut it off so that you could exit the house and the game would actually end. But that game had an idea that it was actually trying to communicate. What's the deeper idea behind the invisible maze? The
Okay.
only way past this challenge is to randomly guess the 6-digit code. Like the invisible maze, it's frustrating to me, because it's the opposite of everything else that Coda has made. It doesn't encourage thought or engagement. It doesn't ask anything of me, except a lot of my time. If I could have reached him during this time, then maybe I could have asked him, but I couldn't. I still don't really understand why this is here. I'll put the code on the ground for you here, though, so that we can move on.
Well, shit.
The switch to open this door is actually on the other side of the door, meaning that it's literally impossible to solve from this side. So even if you somehow brute forced your way through the first 2 challenges, and you got to this point, there's actually just no way to progress. And it's scary for me, the idea of Coda cutting himself off entirely, just saying, you know, that's it, that's the end of the conversation, not giving me any way to fix the problem. I feel like a failure, I guess, when I can't fix the problem. But I can open this door for you, so let me do that.
Perfect.
Was I a failure for not understanding this game? I mean, I don't know why I would be. It's not like everything needs to have a solution, but I feel it somehow. I feel like I failed, and I don't understand why. I remember, it's June of 2011. I'm playing this for the very first time. And as I'm playing, I'm thinking to myself, I don't know this person. I have no idea who this person is. It wasn't the guy I knew, it wasn't my friend. I had come to so many conclusions from looking at all of his work up to this point, and then suddenly none of them... I had been trying to, though. That was the thing. For years I was trying to get to know him, to understand who he actually was and what he stood for. I asked him so many times to please just tell me what his games mean to him. I asked him please to tell me what the 3 dots mean. And he wouldn't. I just felt so strongly that if I could have connected with him, that if I could have somehow made his work my own, that I would finally be once and for all happy. It was that I needed to see myself in someone else. I needed to be someone other than me. But he stopped and left, and it felt somehow like I had failed. Where did I screw up? I'm the reason that you stopped making games, aren't I? It's because of what I did. I poisoned it for you.
Dear Davey, thank you for the interest in my games. I need to ask you to not speak to me anymore.
I don't think I ever told you this, but when I took your work and I was showing it to people, it actually felt... it felt as though I were responsible for something important and valuable.
I wonder at times whether you think I'm making these games for you.
And the people who played them, they treated me like I was important. They really listened and cared about what I had to say. Even though I was showing your work, I felt good about myself. Finally. For a moment, while I had that, I liked myself.
You've so infected my personal space that's possible I began to plant solutions in my work somewhere, hidden between games. If there was an answer, a meaning, would it make you any happier? Would you stop taking my games and showing them to people against my wishes? Giving them something that is not yours to give, violating the one boundary that keeps me safe? Would you stop changing my games? Stop adding lampposts to them? Would you simply let them be what they are?
And I didn't have anything left to show people. I just had to be with myself. And as soon as that happened, there was no feeling at all. Nothing. Less than nothing. What does that mean?
When I'm around you, I feel physically ill. You desperately need something, and I cannot give it to you. I literally do not have it. Struggling to come up with new ideas is not making me depressed. Low points are just part of the process. The fact that you think I am frustrated or broken says more about you than about me. I realize that this doesn't make sense to you just yet. Which is fine. You're not my problem to solve. But I do hope that one day it clicks and that you'll make peace with this thing you're wrestling.
I'm afraid that I did something really stupid because I don't like myself.
And when you finally see what I'm talking about, don't say anything.
That's why I'm releasing this collection of your work, is because I haven't been able to find any other way to reach you. I've tried everything. And so a part of me has hope that if I put this compilation out into the world, and if I put my name on it, that maybe enough people will play it so that it'll find its way to you, so that I can tell you that I'm sorry. I know I screwed up. If I apologize to you truly and deeply, will you start making games again? Please, I need to feel okay with myself again. And I always felt okay as long as I had your work to see myself in. I mean, is something wrong with me? Because I know that I did an awful thing, and I'm doing it again right now. Like, I'm showing people your work, but I can't stop myself from doing it. That's how badly I need to feel something again, like I'm an addict. There has to be something wrong with me. Can I apologize? What if I tell you I was wrong? Will that work? Will that fix it? I don't know. I don't think it will, but there's nothing else that I can do. Just tell me what you want. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please, start making games again. Please help me. Please give me some of whatever it is that makes you complete. I want whatever that wholeness is that you just summoned out of nothing and you put into your work. You were complete in some way that I never was. And I want to know I want to know how to be a good person. I want to know how not to hate myself. Please. I'm fading, and all I want is to know that I'm going to be okay. More love, more praise, more people telling me that I'm good. Always more. It's like a disease. Solution. I guess if someone had told me ahead of time that he just really enjoyed making prison games, maybe I wouldn't have thought he was so desperate. I wouldn't have told so many people that he was depressed. Maybe he just likes making prisons. Even now, the disease is telling me to stop. Don't show people what a shitty person you are. They'll hate you. If I knew that my life depended on finding something to be driven by other than validation, what would that even be? It's strange, but the thought of not being driven by external validation is unthinkable. Like, I actually cannot conceive of what that would be like. What now? I think I need to go. And I'm sorry, because I know that I said that I would be here and I would walk you through this, but I'm starting to feel like I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot that I need to make up for. And so I'm just gonna... Okay.
Well, chat, we're just kind of alone with our thoughts now. Yeah. Hey, it's the Whisper Machine. Well, it's been a while, friend.
Turn back, turn back from this cave. You said, let me prove that I'm brave, let me keep going. But the cave goes for miles and miles and miles, and you're so tired, but I know that you're strong, so turn back, turn back.
And Chad, that was the game. A little short thing. And to be clear, we don't actually think Coda was like a real person. We don't think any of what happened was real. We think it was actually an allegory for, I don't know, depression or something. But it's. I mean, it could be real. We don't think it's real. We think we did read somewhere that's not like actually real. Like everything that happened was just to explore, like trying to understand someone through their work and completely getting the wrong ideas. Yeah. Could be wrong. But it was still fast. It's one of the first games we ever got on Steam. It's still a little emotional. But we hope everyone enjoyed it, even though it was quite the interesting ride, to say the least. Tomorrow we're going to be back with... that's a good question. We don't know what we're going to do tomorrow. Probably going to play some more Limbus Company. Yeah, that might be what we do tomorrow. We might do Limbus tomorrow. And then we're going to wait till Sunday to do the new chapter of Limbus. So we're not playing the new stuff of Limbus till Sunday. Or Saturday. Probably Sunday, though. We're probably going to wait Sunday and then go through it blind. And that way we have like the whole day to play it. That'll probably be what we do. But yeah, we hope everyone had fun, though. It was as a weird, sad ride as it was. We hope everyone enjoyed. And plus, we like a lot of the interpretation of like the sadder, depressing elements are the ones he added because a lot of those came from the lamppost, which it said he was adding. But yeah, we hope everyone had a good time though, and we know we did, and we'll see all of you next time. Later, mates.